welcome you all with my love and respects. Today I'll expand on the spontaneous completion through creation, Srishti Purnatva. In Sanskrit, I'll name this as Srishti Purnatva. Yesterday night, I was going through Sankhya, some of the Sankhya works. Don't ask how I was going through. I was shocked. The whole Sankhya doesn't speak about God because completion itself was given the place of God. Methodology to reach the godliness was given the place of God. Please understand. Sankhya doesn't have the system of God because the methodology to reach the God itself given the place of God. It is Sankhya formed the basis for Buddhism. In Buddhism also there is no God. The methodology to reach God is made as God. Methodology to reach God made as God. Please listen. It's a kind of a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. Methodology to reach God is made as God. It's a new way of thinking. There are only two religions in the world. One sees God as something outside and gives you the methodology to reach God. Another one tradition, the methodology to reach God itself is made as God. There are only two types of religions in the planet Earth. Whether the methodology is worshipped as God or a separate God is worshipped. Whether Buddha is important or Dhamma is important. And I tell you, in the beginning, the methodology to reach God should be worshipped as God, but in the end you will know the experience is far beyond unimaginable. It can't even be compared with the methodology. You can't compare the menu card with food. Menu card may have photograph of the food you are going to be served, but menu card can't be compared with the food. But menu card is required for you to get the right food. It's a strange relationship. But unfortunately, human mind goes on behaving with violence. Tell me one thing. Violence always asks for, tell me one thing. Not having patience to study the whole thing. For mass, you always have to generalize. When you generalize, always the truth is lost. One barber asked Mullah Nasruddin, how did you lose your hair? Mullah replies, worry. The barber asks, what did you worry about? Mullah Nasruddin says, about losing my hair. Your worry makes you lose your hair, and in turn, you are worrying about losing the hair. It's a vicious circle, see. Same way, you are forced to generalize because human mind is filled with violence. People are forced to generalize because human mind is filled with violence, and people ask, tell me one thing. I have always seen people ask for instructions are most violent people. Why they ask for instruction? So that they can miss the spirit and carry on with the letter. Listen. If you want to live the spirit, you will not ask for exact instruction. When you ask for exact instruction, you are working around how to miss the spirit. सांख्य और बौद्ध संप्रदायों में भगवान है ही नहीं, पूर्णत्व की कार्य प्रणाली ही भगवान है. I could see the whole compassion of Kapila. I know for sure he is the first man who started thinking. Till then, thinking was not part of the humanity. The first human being who started thinking is Kapila. Listen. You need to come to the space of listening. Please come to the space of listening so that you internalize this great truth. The religions which separate God as some advantage and disadvantage, religions which make the path towards godliness and God as a religion as some advantage and disadvantage. Both of them have some advantage and disadvantage. What exactly I want to do? I want you to understand the mental setup of asking any one final instruction is a violence, so drop and learn to understand the whole. Path towards God need to be treated as God in certain level, and the experience of God is totally different from the path. You need to understand this at one level. You can neither say this is important nor say that is important. That asking or expecting, thinking only one can be important is violence. Come out of that mental setup. I have seen whenever my sannyasis ask, give one instruction, we will follow. I know they are caught in violence. Only violence as instruction without inspiration. A violent person cannot be inspired, he can only be instructed. If any religion gives you the manual, be very clear. That religion is born from violence, will continue to flourish in violence. Bhagavad Gita, nowhere you will see instruction. Rarely, one or two lines. But the whole 700 verses is all about inspiring and giving intelligence. Nowhere you will see instruction. You see the very funny thing. Arjuna was supposed to fight, but he is being taught how to meditate. Dhyana Yoga, one full chapter is there. And he is being taught Sankhya. And he is being taught the great different aspects of sannyasa. Sannyasa yoga, karma sannyasa yoga, jnana karma sannyasa yoga. Very funny. See, Arjuna says in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, leave me, I am going and becoming a sannyasi. But Bhagavan says, no, wait. He catches him. He asks him to fight. When Arjuna is asking, why should I? How can I? When he is asking all these questions, Bhagavan is suddenly telling about sannyas, how to become a great sannyasi. See the whole thing, I tell you. This is the beauty of Hinduism. No single instruction. Because the mental setup asking for single instruction is from violence. Only violent mind believes only one thing can be in top. Only one thing can be ultimate. Only one instruction can be ultimate instruction. Why? Because you feel only you should be alive or the other fellow should be alive. The mentality of the fighting, violence, always excludes. One, only one. No. That is not even required. The root of the problem should be solved. The root of the problem is asking for only one as ultimate is nothing but the mentality of a fighter. See, only in the fight, who is the winner? Top. And the survival instinct, who is the winner? Only one. In the survival instinct, no question of coexisting. But anything which talks about only one is out of survival instinct. Fortunately, even the Advaita philosophy never talks about one. It only says no duality. Advaita, it does not say egatva. Understand the difference? It only says Advaita. No duality, but it does not say egatva, single. One. Only one should be. The concept, the idea itself is from violence. The root pattern of that asking for one instruction, one in the top, is the root pattern of violence. Understand? Bhagavan is not against Arjuna's sannyas. He says, go to sannyas out of completion. Bhagavan is only trying to do one thing. Out of completion, take any decision. Out of completion, take any decision. मैं कहता हूँ भगवान तक पहुँचने की कार्य प्रणाली को भगवान मानना चाहिए, किंतु जब आप भगवान का वास्तविक रूप अनुभव करते हैं, आप देखेंगे कि वो अनुभव कार्य प्रणाली से ऊपर एक बिल्कुल अलग स्तर पर है। कपिल मुनि पहले मनुष्य थे जिन्होंने सोचना आरंभ किया। Kapila doesn't talk elaborately about God, but talks about the methodology to reach God. He feels, what is the use of telling how the idli will taste and how it will look and how the dosa will taste and how it will look. Just let's serve them. Maybe Kapila is the real spiritual activist. ए समझिए भगवान तक पहुंचने का मार्ग और भगवान का प्रत्यक्ष अनुभव बिल्कुल अलग है, किंतु दोनों ही महत्वपूर्ण हैं, दोनों के कुछ लाभ हैं। जब आप केवल एक उपदेश की अपेक्षा रखते हैं, सीधे समझिए कि आप हिंसा में स्थापित हैं। इस एकत्व का मूल हिंसा है। I wanted you to understand, asking for single instruction itself is from the violence, and if the single instruction is given, that is again violence, encouraging your violence. Only inspiration should be given. I tell you, the first quality you should see before you pick up any philosophy, should I live this philosophy or not? The first quality is, in that philosophy, as per the philosophy, what is the introduction given about you to you? Second, was it single answer based philosophy or inspiration based philosophy? Inspiration based philosophies will never be a single answer based philosophies, where you will be given a lot of understanding. Please understand, these two are very important. World is actually going to sit very soon. All the top religious leaders, spiritual leaders, theologians, philosophers, not for sitting and reconciling. Please understand, the age of reconciliation is over. With Vivekananda, the era of reconciliation is over. I am telling you, all the world leaders, thinkers are going to sit to find out which is the philosophy which should be actually followed, which is the philosophy which is going to make future of the planet very intelligent, bright, rich, blissful. Beyond the amount of money we have vested in the infrastructure of those philosophies and religions, and the teaching. Listen, now the planet Earth is functioning in such a way, all the infrastructure established for a particular ideology or the philosophy or the religion, based on that infrastructure and their capability to shout loud, decides which philosophy will be followed by human beings. But I tell you, all the theology schools should adopt the policy of universities, how the universities go on in search of truth. All the infrastructure and money vested in the university is not for promoting one idea. It is for constantly finding the truth, in search of truth. All the theology centers of all religions should adopt the principles of university. Soon the world is going to gather together to sit, to find out which is the philosophy most adaptable for the future of humanity without vested interests. I tell you, the future world religious congregations are not for reconciliation, for recognition of Vedic tradition. It is not for reconciliation. And I tell you, the reconciliation is the old idea. I am not against coexistence. I am all for coexistence. But not out of powerlessness. Not out of powerlessness. Krishna does not want Arjuna to become sannyasi out of powerlessness, shivering, shaking. And Arjuna says, "Oh Lord, leave me, I'll go and become sannyasi, I'll beg and eat." No, I tell you, this fellow would not have become sannyasi. He would have gone and asked the food in a royal way, "Hey, give me food." If somebody doesn't give, he would have picked up his arrow, bow and arrow, to shoot the person for his food. Because he became sannyasi out of powerlessness, not out of understanding or completion. All religious leaders are going to gather. The world religious congregations are going to happen, not for reconciliation anymore, but for recognition. Come on, teach the world and world religious leaders the scales to find what should be the scale with which we should measure which philosophy should be followed, which philosophy should be lived, which philosophy should be practiced. Let us discuss about the scale. I invite anyone. Come on, let us discuss about the fair scale. Let's put a scale first. Not the fantastical, poetical description given about God or the world. Because all those things are unreachable to you. The fantastic description, poetical descriptions about how God is and how God's place looks, who is his housekeeping in charge, who is his accommodation in charge, how to get your accommodation there. Anybody can sing all these fantasies. It takes only few hundred rupees of alcohol. If you pour the petrol, vehicle will move. If you pour alcohol, all these poetries will come. These fantastical theories and poetries of delusion and illusion is nothing but the smoke which comes from the exhaust pipe after you pour the petrol in car. Same way, after you pour the alcohol, the gas which comes out of you is these fantasy theories. Listen. We should develop a clear scale. Understand? Let us develop a very clear scale with which we will measure whether some of these philosophies should be followed or not, which philosophy should be followed. The first scale is what introduction is given to you about you by any philosophy. That is the first step. What is the introduction given about you to you? Because I tell you, all philosophy finally ends in a vague end. Philosophy does not have climax, understand? Philosophy does not have climax. By the time your logic becomes tired, that is what is the climax. So don't think I will verify whether this philosophy is right or not by the end of the philosophy. No. By the end, your brain will be tired, your mind will be tired, you will be tired. Philosophies are successful when you are tired. No. It can never become, that cannot be the scale to verify whether to practice a philosophy or not. Whether to practice a philosophy or not, the scale should be the first line. What is the introduction you are given about you? How that philosophy cognizes you. At that point, you should make the decision whether to go in or not. Because the cognition about the world, cognition about God, cognition about nature, even the cognitions about the path, everything is just nothing but the junk expressed out of analogies and comparisons. You can't destroy your life on somebody's capability to give analogies and comparisons. No, wake up. Don't waste your life. Don't be powerless in front of philosophers. They are the most dangerous people. They will exploit you. If you are powerless in front of your enemy, is he going to leave you alone? Is he going to be showing any grace for you? Is he going to be compassionate for you? No. Philosophers are more dangerous people than your enemies. Philosophers are the enemies of the world, enemies of the humanity. They are perverted mental thought. They are trying to establish it for a more number of human beings. If more number of people are mad, madness is no more mad. If more number of people are mad, madness is no more madness. Infecting people with certain kind of madness is spreading a philosophy. Infecting people with certain kind of madness is spreading philosophies. No. First scale should be how you are cognized by the philosophy. That should be the scale to analyze whether you should follow that philosophy or not. If the philosophy starts with the right cognition, then it will naturally lead you to completion. See the brilliance of Krishna. The moment he opens his mouth, the first thing comes out of him is Sankhya Yoga. not Advaita, Sankhya Yoga. I can be sure Krishna was filled. Krishna was filled by Kapila. Krishna is the greatest follower of Sankhya Yoga, Mahanirvani Pita. Because, please understand, when you are in crisis, the first few words you utter is the words with which you are solving your problems. When somebody asks you for advice, what will come up first? The words with which you are enriching you only will come out to enrich others. So, Krishna himself is not Bhakti Yogi. Bhakti Yoga comes only from his archives. From his table, only Sankhya Yoga comes. The books you have in your archives, you may be master of that. But the book you have in your table has mastered you. Understand? Books you have in the archives, you may be master of that. But the books you have on the table have mastered you. That is why they are occupying your table. They are master for you. The moment Krishna opens the mouth, and I can be sure, Krishna was in more shock than Arjuna. Because Krishna would have never seen this dimension of Arjuna. Shivering, shaking. Krishna would have never seen that. When Krishna was slapped with a shock by Arjuna, that's the right description I will give. Krishna wakes up and the first thing comes out of him is Sankhya. Sankhya. In Sankhya, you are recognized as a soul. The idea taught about you to you is you can't be cut by weapons, you can't be cut by any other way, you can't be burnt by fire, you can't be made wet by water, you can't be blown away by air. Nothing can do nothing to you. Nothing can be done to you by anything. Understand? An amazing introduction you are given about you. The moment Bhagavan opens the mouth, Nainam chintanti shastrani, Nainam daghati pavakaha, Nachaiman kletayantyabo, Nasoshayati marutaha. You can't be touched by anything. Bhagavan starts with Sankhya. Then he goes on explaining Sannyasa, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya Yoga, Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga. He goes on. Different yogas. Jnana Vijnana Yoga, Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga, Moksha Upatesha Yoga. This all later comes. But the moment he opens his mouth, what comes out? Sankhya. Krishna is one of the greatest followers of Kapila. That is why, even when he describes his glory, see, for example, if you brag about yourself, you will brag yourself only about as the star of your times. See, naturally, the star of your times only you will remember and you will brag, see, I am like that. I am much more than that. So even when Bhagavan introduces himself, of course he is not bragging about himself. When he is introducing about himself, he says, Siddhanam Kapilo Munihi. Among the great beings, complete beings, Siddha means complete. Among the complete beings, I am the Kapila. Means in Krishna's time, Kapila was the star of the spiritual world. That is why he remembers Kapila. अंडरस्टैंड, ध्यान से सुनिए। अद्वैत सिद्धांत एक ही प्रणाली का प्रोत्साहन नहीं करती है। अद्वैता का अर्थ है वो जो द्वैता की स्थिति में नहीं है, ना कि वो जो एकत्व में स्थापित है। जब आप किसी सिद्धांत को चुनना चाहते हैं, पहले यह देखिए कि वो सिद्धांत आपको स्वयं के बारे में क्या परिचय देता है। जो सिद्धांत निर्देश देते हैं वो प्रेरणा पर आधारित नहीं होंगे, बल्कि हिंसा पर आधारित होंगे। ध्यान से सुनिए, आने वाले विश्व धर्म सम्मेलन धर्मों की बीच संधि के लिए नहीं, बल्कि हिंदू धर्म को मान्यता देने के लिए होंगे। तत्व ज्ञान का कोई अंत नहीं है। अंत में आपका दिमाग थक जाता है और इसीलिए उस तत्व ज्ञान को आप मान लेते हैं। कोई सिद्धांत का मापदंड उसका अंत नहीं, बल्कि उसका आरंभ है। वो सिद्धांत आपको स्वयं का क्या परिचय देता है। इसीलिए मैं कहता हूं कि तत्वज्ञानियों पर विश्वास ना कीजिए। सांख्य योग को देखिए, आपको स्वयं का क्या परिचय देता है कि आप एक अमर आत्मा है, आपको कोई कुछ नहीं कर सकता है। Understand, you are the only thing available immediately to you. God is not immediately available to you. Universe is not immediately available to you. You are the most immediately available to you. What idea is given to you about you by any philosophy will reveal the purpose of its existence. Did it come out of completion, and is it staying in completion? Is it leading people in completion? Is it leading people to completion? The introduction you are given about you is very important. Some philosophies teach you you are the sinner. Some philosophies teach you are the slave, you are supposed to be the follower. Even in Hindu religion, some philosophies started getting evolved by the influence of different religions and philosophies. Very late, maybe in last few thousand years, they also started developing the concept of I am your slave, O Lord. No. I am very clear, they are not part of Hinduism. They are not original thought trend of rishis, our founding fathers. Our founding fathers, the rishis, original thought trend is out of completion. Bhagavan beautifully, Krishna beautifully says, Ashwataha sarva vrikshanam devarshinam chanarada Gandharvanam chitrarada rataha siddhanam kapilo munihi. Of all the trees, I am the sacred banyan tree. Of divine sages, I am Narada. Of Gandharvas, I am Chitrarata. Of perfect, complete beings, I am Kapila. Understand how a philosophy introduces you to you should be the scale to follow some philosophy or not. O humanity, I commit with you. I will sincerely dedicate my time and work. Make all religious leaders, philosophers, theologians, I won't give up on them. I'll make them understand the right scale with which we should measure and decide what should be the future philosophy. Which philosophy should be for the future of the humanity? Which philosophy should be practiced for a better future of the humanity? Which is the best philosophy which will make the future of the humanity best? Hindu religious leaders should spend their energy and time making the scale, the Hindu religious leaders should know they should put their energy and intelligence, time to make the world recognize Hinduism, make the world recognize, make the world understand. And I tell you, the Western world is open. All university-based countries will recognize what I am saying. The countries based on theology may not recognize, but the countries based on universities will recognize what I am saying. If a country is guided by theology schools or the country is guided by university, find out. All the countries guided by universities will accept what I am saying. The greatness of Hinduism is the first thinking man, Kapila, experienced completion. So it's a religion based on completion, not any revolution. It's a completion-based religion, not complication. It is not revolution-based religion. It is evolution-based religion. The world need to know. We need to develop a scale. Just like Western countries developed a scale for money, they developed a scale, dollar, euro, and they developed a scaling mechanisms, certifying mechanisms for diamond, country, for everything. I tell you, developing a scale for the strength of religion, scaling, measuring the religions and philosophies is the work of Hindu saints. It is our work. We will develop a scale, the standard measurement for what should be the philosophy, what should be the scale to measure, which philosophy should be followed, which theology should be lived, which principle should be lifestyle. They set a standard in many things. But the field of the inner world, we have worked a lot, we have dedicated our whole life. I tell you, the field of the philosophy, we should set a standard. We should set a standard, we should set a scale through which philosophy should be measured, whether it is useful for society or not. आपको स्वयं का क्या परिचय दिया जाता है, ये बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है। हमारे ऋषियों ने न्याय धर्म पूर्णत्व पर आधारित है, हिंदू धर्म और वैदिक धर्म पूर्णत्व पर आधारित है, ना कि क्रांति पर आधारित है। धर्मों का मापदंड बनाना हिंदू संतों का कार्य है। And I tell you, I commit with humanity, oh humanity, I'll dedicate my life and I'll be successful, I'll make it. I'll make it. I'll make it. I'll make it. The essence of today's satsang have more understanding. Don't ask for single instruction. Live completion. Let you all achieve, experience, live, express, radiate, share and explode in eternal bliss. Nityananda.
Nityananda Dhyanapitham, Nityananda Nagar, off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bengaluru. Phone 08027279999. www.nityananda.org. www.youtube.com/lifeblissfoundation.
Let you all achieve, experience, live, express, radiate, share and explode in eternal bliss. Nityananda.
Nityananda Dhyanapitham, Nityananda Nagar, off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bengaluru. Phone 08027279999. www.nityananda.org. www.youtube.com/lifeblissfoundation.